Hello viewers, I am Kamrujaman from withalearners.com. Welcome to our web design tutorial. This is our tutorial number 10 and our today's topic is CSS Introduction and Documents rule. In previous tutorials we talked about a lot of HTML tag, and now we are ready to work with our CSS because we want to design our HTML tags. So we are ready to learn CSS, but if you don't have a basic knowledge of HTML, please first learn the HTML documents and then you come to learn CSS. So if you missed this tutorial, don't worry about that. Just visit my website www.withalearners.com and then select web development and basic HTML and CSS. You will find all the tutorial list. We have also a complete tutorial of WordPress, so you can also check out this. Now I'm going back to my today's topic. Our today's topic is CSS Introduction and Documents rule. CSS mean cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet. Okay, it's help us to design our HTML tags, and external CSS help you much to work with your CSS and it will save your time. Okay, when we work in advanced level we also realize the importance of CSS file, and it's the key of design a HTML template. So we have to learn CSS, and CSS have some rules and some kinds. There are three kinds of CSS. Those are uh, external CSS, external, internal, and inline CSS. Okay, in previous tutorial when we learned HTML tag, we also learned the internal CSS and the inline CSS. Now today I also show them, and we are today work with our external CSS. This is very important to learn external CSS because next days we will work with external CSS, but I am showing the example the inline CSS and internal CSS also. So we have here the h1 tag, and inside h1 tag we have in previous also we have used the style busy color, or also use the hide white, etc. So that's called the inline. So style is suppose the color is red and I want to duplicate, and this color is green. Okay, this is our inline CSS because we have to add our rule for every tag in line, so it's called the inline CSS. Okay, I want to run and see the result. We have used the inline CSS, and for the internal CSS, I in previous tutorial I also showed you the internal CSS. Now I am also today also showing this. Okay, for internal CSS we have to add a head because we also head in any document of HTML file, because a HTML file has two part. First one is heading and second one is our body. So in heading is the individual code we have to add here, like our style sheet or the link, or a JavaScript link, etc. So so here we have to add the style tag for our internal CSS. Okay, now we want to add here, like for h1 style we can add here for h1 color red. Now control S to save and run with your browser and see the result. For using the internal CSS, our h1 is colored to red. Okay, we can also use here div. Okay, so div class or h1 class, any class. So in previous tutorial when I told about the HTML tag, div tag, here there I also explain about the class and ID. So if you missed, please show the videos, watch this video. Now h1 class is our any class like class 1. Okay, now class 1 I want to add here our internal rule. Its class is start with dot, I told you before. Now for h1 I want the text color is green. Okay, for h1 red, but for the class 1 I select here the rule green. Now run with your browser and see the result. Our by default h1 color is red, and for using the class our second one is turned to green. So those are first one was the inline, and the second one example was on the external, and sorry for internal. But there are also another important CSS that is called the uh, external CSS, but I told you later, obviously in this video, but later. But today I want to now I want to talk about the rules of writing CSS. Okay, and after we will connect, we will create a CSS file and connect with our HTML document. Now I want to show you how to write a CSS rule. So for CSS rule there are three parts. First one is selector, second one is our property, and third one is the value. Selector mean is your tag selector or ID selector or anything. For selector mean h1, h2, h3 image. If you use the h1, you can target your CSS rule for h1 or h2, or if you use image img for image tag, or if you use the p. Okay, so here I use the h1, so the our selector is h1. Okay, now the property is what you want to change or design. That's mean for h1 I want to change it background, so our property is background. So background sorry, our property and value must be inside in the second bracket. Okay, property and value must be inside the second bracket. So our property is background because I want to change the background, and background property is our obviously the background color. So background color properties, so green. Okay, if you used okay, I am showing green. Now control S to save. Now run uh, h1 h1 background. Okay, I'm fixing that. There is something problem. Oops. Oh, so there is no style. Sorry about that. Style because we want add here the internal CSS. So style, and inside our style tag we have to add our CSS. So sorry. Now run with your browser and see our h1 has green background. So this is first one is our selector, second one is our property, and third one is our property value. If you use more property, you have to use the semicolon, and then you can add another property. Like if you want the margin, like I want margin around 100 pixel. Okay, now control S to save and run with your browser and see the result. Our top is 100 pixel, left 100 pixel, right 100 pixel, and bottom 100 pixel margin. Okay, we use here two properties, so we use the semicolon here. Okay, so if you use two properties, you have to use the semicolon, and after your properties you have to use the clone to write the value. You can also use the line break, just enter, or if you don't want you can't you don't use, but I recommend you to use it because it's look very easy to read. Okay, if you want more, just clone and write your properties. Okay, there are too much properties. Later I will discuss about this. Now uh, I want to talk about the CSS comment. So before CSS comment, we have to create a new CSS file. Okay, now I will show you how to create a new CSS file. Now click on new and then save it. Now save as and write any name, but maximum time we use it style.css. It's a common name. You can use main.css or other css, and then control S to save. Okay, extension already exists. I have another file with this name, so it's so warning me. uh, I want to replace or no. Okay, I don't want. Okay, or you can also create a CSS file another system, another way, that is go to your root folder. Okay, this is my root folder and here I have style.css. So I'm just deleting it, and now right click and new and text document and type your name, style, and obviously dot css. Now save it. You are done. Okay, this is our style.css. Now this is our external css. In few minutes ago I showed you the internal css and the inline css. Now I am showing you the external css. So first I want to talk about the comments. That is, in our html tag we also use the comment like this. uh, Here more, and this is comment. Now we also use comment in our css because there are also more codes, like thousands of codes must be have in your css for a full template. So if you don't use the comment, it will be a panic for you or for your client. Okay, I am showing you a css file in css folder and edit with notepad, and see that there are thousands of codes here. Okay, so you can identify the css rules which css use for which work. If you use the comment, you can easily find the code and edit it. Like this is a comment for these codes are used for search. So I can easily understand this code is for search because you have we have used here a comment. Okay, uh, here are also more comments should be here. See, this comment here is a comment single page post. That's mean those code are for single page. So you can use comment in your css file. Okay, so comment css comment is slash slash, and inside double slash you can you have to use the star, double star, and you can add your comment. Like this is a comment, or if you or you if you use the like if you have a header. So start heading code. When it's end, like you can type here end heading code. Okay, so this is the html css comment. Now we are going to connect our html file, our css file with our html document. Okay, I just want to delete the style. We need on it now because we are using the external css. So our external css, we have to link up our external css. So that is link tag. So inside link is ref hyperreference and our css url, that is our css url. Our css file name is style.css. As you can see here, our file name is style.css. So our file location is in our root folder. Okay, where the html file, there is the css file. So it's in our root folder. Okay, if you use any css folder like CSS folder or other folder, and inside your CSS folder you uh, keep the CSS file. You can use like here folder. I have create a folder CSS, and inside our folder I keep my CSS file. So my CSS folder URL must be css slash style.css. Okay, if your folder name is another like asset or other, you can use the your folder name and slash your CSS file name. Okay, now our link type is obviously text, and it's also a CSS, so text slash CSS, and rel is our style sheet, so style SHEET style sheet. Okay, now we have connect our CSS file with our HTML document. Now what to do? Now we have to stylize our tags we used in our HTML tag in our CSS. So you can stylize in our CSS, but if you want the view, change the view to double window, just right click on the tab and then click on move to other view. Okay, and our first one is our for HTML and second one is our style.css. Now I am just typing some code here like anything. So in our HTML document I use here h1 tag. I need to close h1 tag. We have successfully connect our CSS file there, and then other one is I want the paragraph pp, and the class is the CSS font. I don't want, I want all inside the div. Okay, I want a div tag, so div and the div. Okay, I want to remove the change other view, so here, and so our we have a div and we need the class div class like CSS font, any name. Okay, CSS font, and now we have to add some rules here in our CSS. Okay, I want now move to change other view, and here we have h1, so h1 color red. Okay, so here in CSS for h1 color red, and text align center for paragraph our text align center and color white, and for our div, that is our whole element background is yellow and margin 20 pixel and padding 40 pixel. Now see the result. Okay, first you have to click on your HTML document file. Don't click here and run it. Click on your document, HTML document, and click on run. Before run, you make sure your link is correct. Okay, if you use the wrong URL, it will not work. Now run and see the result. We have successfully connect our CSS file. The paragraph color is white, so I want to change it because it don't look like cool. Ctrl S, and now refresh and see the result. It's very easy to do. Please again create new one. Thanks. Okay, you can practice and see that we have successfully connect our CSS file with HTML document. So you can practice, you can create new one and then connect, and you can fun with your CSS and HTML file as you want. In our next video tutorial we will discuss about the properties of HTML of a CSS file like background image, padding, border, margin, and more. So advance welcome to our next video, and subscribe our YouTube channel for support us, and comment in our comment section in our website. We will try our best to solve your any problem. So keep stay with our social media: facebook.com/wlearners, twitter.com/wlearners, pinterest.com/wlearners. So again, thanks and welcome to our next video tutorial, and thanks, obviously thanks for keep stay with me from beginning to last of this video tutorial.